switch?
No.
You absolute... I didn't turn it off, or somebody did.
I did when it...
Well, there you go then.
Welcome to Fuel Freaks.
Today on Fuel Freaks, we're going to look at my 1970 Plymouth Satellite.
I've got no OnlyFans at the moment, so our biggest fans at the moment are currently these two. So what we have here is my first attempt at ever bending a brake hose. This hose will go from the front of the master into the top of the line lock, like so. Line lock into the proportioning valve down the bottom, which you can see down there, the brass valve. And then, in theory, when you put a positive feed to the line lock, front brakes are locked up, your backs are open, mad burnouts. What we have is 6.3 litre 383 cubic inch Mopar Big Block. Obviously, it's not a proper engine right now, it's just a bare block. My dad has reconditioned cylinder heads. I've got new pistons, new bearings, everything is pretty much new, it's going to go back in it other than the crankshaft, which has been reground. Sticking with the old cast iron cylinder heads because they're expensive to buy new ones. And yeah, it should work when it's back together.
How long did you run this for before we actually rebuilt it?
When I had it, it was working for 2 years before I took it apart, I think. Between two and 3 years.
Why did we take it apart? Was it
Chip piston.
Yeah, the chip
well,
piston.
we didn't know that though, did we, until we took it apart?
I reckon I was dry. I had it for a year, registered it in the UK after a year because I had to fix some bits and pieces like the rusty car.
Just the stuff. I mean, like, remember that spanner that we found?
The spanner that was somehow attached to the brake pedal, the floor pans that were non-existent.
Came all the way from America with a spanner attached to the brake pedal that some bloke's gone, nah, I'm not going to take that off, I'll leave it there.
And somehow managed to get it past an MOT. And then drove for 2 years, on and off, and then realised it probably should do with an engine rebuild. And then it's been sitting for like 2.5 years with this in the shed and that in pieces. But we're getting there slowly.
Slowly, I mean, once you had the engine out, it was a lot easier to work on all of this stuff, weren't it? Like, I suppose it's made you actually work on the stuff that you need to, rather than just going, I'll take it out over a weekend when I charge the battery up.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So I've actually replaced the battery, moved it to the rear, replaced the entire wiring loom with a new painless wiring kit. The brake booster was like horrendously rusted, so new brake, new master, new booster, new master. Swapped the horrendous old-fashioned mechanical clutch linkage for hydraulic clutch linkage. Rebuilt the steering box.
I remember that was horrible to do.
It was like you turned the wheel like a quarter turn and nothing happened. Now it actually works. Fit a new relay system for the front wiring, new radiator, new steering wheel, new radio.
It's just all the little bits you can do when you're not going to do it when you can drive it instead,
Yeah,
are you?
yeah. Like plumbing in new brake lines, that's the thing that's so much easier when there's no engine in there. You can sit in there, you can figure out what you're doing, where you're going to route the lines.
Yeah.
And stuff like painting the engine bay as well, that's like an impossible task.
Well, yeah, you never would have done this with the engine in it, would you? And obviously you've still got a bit to do, but it looks a lot cleaner than it was. The kind of thing that no matter what the front looks like, in the UK especially, people are going to look at it and go, wow.
It had, in horsepower, 335 from factory, which was massively underrated because US emission laws at the time. So it probably had somewhere probably between 350 and 400.
And about 4 when we took it apart.
And about 3 or 4 when we took it apart.
Yeah.
The 5 just like the piston was non-existent anymore.
Well, it still ran, considering it had half a cylinder.
It had an intact combustion chamber, it's just the piston itself was just in pieces.
Oh, yeah, but still not exactly.
It worked, so.
It did work. I mean, we didn't even notice until we took the whole. Well, you couldn't have noticed until you took the whole thing apart.
Also, when I bought the timing gun and checked out, the timing was horrendously off. It ran way too rich.
It smelled good though.
It smelled good, and it kind of did burnouts in the field with people pushing it backwards.
Yeah. Says something when the smallest bloke we know has to help push something to make it do a burnout.
But now we've got line lock, so bad burnouts.
And then what are you expecting horsepower wise when it's back together?
Well, I've done nothing like ridiculous power wise, it's going to be mostly factory build. Like the cylinder head's going to be the same. It's got a bit more of an aggressive cam, so I'd say 5% more than the factory numbers. Nothing aggressive,
But it'll run smoother.
It'll run properly,
Which is
hopefully.
always a bonus.
We couldn't make it to a local car show before, could we, without
Something
things
overheating.
setting on fire or it
Yeah.
overheating, sitting in a queue going, this needs to hurry up.
I remember when we were out in the block at the old house and put the foot on the brake and the back end just slid out because the brakes didn't work properly.
It
Now-
was
now
quite icy that day though, if I remember rightly.
That happened every time.
Yeah.
The icy time was a bad situation, but it happened anyway.
Now they should run properly.
Should is the big word.
Yeah, should.
We'll see mad burnouts hopefully at some point in the future.